Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
That stopped abruptly. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm coughing. And why did that? Oh, I know why. So, okay, things should be a little dreamier now. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Pass, exactly. I hope everybody's doing well today. I just took the claw clip out of my hair. The time change has y'all messed up. Well, Vicky, some of you may have heard this story earlier today in the different chats, but I will recount it now. A little craziness happened at my house today. I awoke this morning of like, now why? Do you see how that's a different color? Okay. Sorry, my ADHD will not allow me to deal with that. Anyways, I woke up this morning to like sirens and all this different kind of shit. Yelling. Oh, bruh. Anyway, so there was an ambulance, a fire truck, and police cars. Yeah, the Canadian internet is a real fucker today. I'll tell you that. But and then I sort of was like, oh, I guess the person downstairs had like an issue or whatever. But then I went to sleep and I woke back up this morning and then there was like a body bag stretcher people and like the people that come and collect bodies and the police. It was a little bit nuts. But nobody came and knocked on our door. So I guess it wasn't like anything that crazy. You think if somebody was like unalived, but here's what gets my goat, and I don't want to sound rude or anything. May the person rest in peace. I feel really sad. It's not the lady. Fuck you, internet. Suffice it to say, a third person lived down there. So I've been getting blamed for using all the electricity in the house lately because we thought there was one person living downstairs, but in fact, there's 3 people living downstairs. It wasn't me. Do you guys know also that my internet has been working really well? Everything's been working quite well until the moment I turn on the stream. Why is that? I even pay for extra upload speed, y'all. You know that? They probably are mooching the fucking internet. Little asshole. They better not be. Hold on, I gotta check on that. I get blamed because I kicked the camera. I get blamed because I moved in here at like mid-November, which is also winter. So obviously hydro prices go, or hydro costs go up. We call electricity hydro. But so my roommate was like, by the way, the hydro bill was like double last month. And I was like, really? Okay, well, because I'm quite cognizant of my electricity usage. Like, yes, I know I use a television and like a screen all the time, but I'm on a whole not over the top. And but if there's 2 other people on it as well, that makes a lot more sense. Also, that makes so much more sense as to why my internet's being throttled. Oh. On that note, I had a real hassle to download the court today. It was a problem for me. My regular downloading program that I use wouldn't work for the video that I wanted. And this workaround that I found really didn't work either. And then I did a last minute Hail Mary of like, oh, okay, I'm going to use this program that I've never used before. Speaking of, like, did I even check the video length? Let's just see. Remember when you used to like download something off Kazaa? And when you
make sure you got the, and if you just
hold on, Judge, just fucking hold on. No, it is. It's a whole video. Okay. But remember when you used to download shit off Kazaa or like Napster, and then it would be the beginning of the song, and then it would go to like porn sounds or weird shit, and you didn't have, you didn't know necessarily. So you had to really like vet your shit when you downloaded music back in the day. You couldn't just type something in and be like, oh, that's good. We'll put that on the CD. We'll burn that one on there. You would listen to that shit beforehand. I can't tell you how many times I got rickrolled. Oh. Anyway, so the point being that I don't believe I've been rickrolled this time. I downloaded this using a different ability place website, and it's here. It's not in great quality, but it's here. We can deal. So, oh, also, we talked about smash burgers yesterday. Guess what, guys? Didn't make them last night entirely. I created the burgers. I used a recipe where you actually insert extra juice into the burgers by mixing butter and Worcestershire sauce or whatever it's called. And then you like mix that into the burgers, and they've been chilling overnight since I did that. I will smash the burgers after this. All right, let's get going.
Commissioner Paul presiding.
make sure you got the right person. Go ahead and be seated, please. Okay. And good morning. I have a few cases here that I'm going to go ahead and call that Judge Meyer alerted me are ready to be heard. So looking at the calendar, Ms. Bershauer, I understand that you were able to get service on Ms. O'Hara.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then Ms. O'Hara has not responded.
The only response she did is set a fire at my house.
Sorry, what, ma'am? Remember, we've seen this lady before. She came for the last 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe. She kept trying to get this order put in, and the judge, she couldn't get the person served. And I think she literally just said that they set a fire to her house. Is that what she said so nonchalantly?
Okay, and then Ms. O'Hara has not responded.
The only response she did is set a fire at my house.
Okay. All right, and I'm mostly saying that for the record. Ms. O'Hara has not responded according to our records. And thank you, Kayla. I'm gonna check and make sure that we don't have a response from council either. It appears that we do not. Okay. All right, then, Ms. Burschauer, I'm gonna go ahead and grant your anti-harassment order.
Oh, thank you.
And that'll extend the protection from the temporary order for a year.
Okay.
And if you just gonna have to bear with me a second here because I have to make sure that the terms and conditions of the order that I issue here are the same as they were in the temporary order.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so the judge, he's so slow today. He's lackadaisical, I would call it. Lackadaisical. Is she doing diamond art? I couldn't tell what she's doing. I don't think it's diamond art because you need a pen to do that. But on that note, MB, I prepared like a motherfucking boss. How, Paisley? You say? How? How are you going to do this? First of all,
All right, Ms. Burschauer, I've issued your order by default. And that order is in effect a year from today. All right, the court clerk is going to file that and it'll be available to you a little bit later today.
Okay, great. So just as a reminder, this is my diamond art. Oh, you can't really see it when I'm... Anyways, this is... Oh my Lord. Okay, the downfall of my diamond art containers. So somebody on here told me to go get pill containers. So that's what I did. And look, I went and I took each of them and I numbered them all. And I got 2 sets of them. So now, before I even started this one, I have everything all lit. So excited. Yeah, what is going on down there, by the way? And I'm talking about him, not on me. I know it's insane that I'm organized like that. I can't believe it. But I realized that like around me there are so many loose diamonds from other projects already, and so I recognized what my problem is. I want to do it, but I need them organized like this. And here's the beauty. They all entirely, the whole, for that whole, like, this is bigger than 11 by 16. Like, it's a big piece. All the diamonds fit in here with lots of room to spare. So it's not unreasonable to just unload them. I did that. Also, it makes it so much easier to put them back after when you're like finished with the few of the color. Oh my God. Anyways, I'm a little too into it. Okay, let's continue, Paisley. Shut your fucking mouth. Also, wait, there's a really weird case coming up, MB. I am intrigued to hear your thoughts on it. It's not this one, but soon.
Okay, you're welcome. So next to number 24-69, Travis Tyrolt versus Daniel Langley. Did Mr. Tyrolt ever appear on this?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm John Cannon, the attorney for Mr. Langley, who's present on the Zoom court video.
Okay.
In this
All right.
case, 24-000.
Okay, since the petitioner has not appeared, the petition will be dismissed.
Judge, it takes so long. But this guy, he looks greasy. I'm sorry. One down. One down. We're allowed one more. Maybe two.
All right, all temporary time.
Your Honor, the sheriff's department came and picked up some of Mr. Langley's firearms, so he can go over there and get those now.
I'll explain that in just a second.
Thank you.
Here's the dismissal order on the firearms. The law enforcement agency that has them will get notice that this has been terminated through the clerk's office. They'll go through the release process with Mr. Langley, but that will involve him having to have the required firearms transfer background check. The law enforcement agency is required to do that by statute. So what I tell people is don't go down there and tell the sheriff's office or whichever the law enforcement agency is that they have to give you your firearms right now, or the judge said you have to give them to me right now, because they have a legal process that they have to go through by statute. They are required to do that prior to transferring firearms back to you. So just make sure you're prepared for the idea that there's a process involved and it will not happen instantly.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for taking the time to
Okay.
explain that. Appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Okay, and then any other one-party cases here? Is that Meyer and Lee T, number 12? There's only the petitioner here, right?
Just the respondent, actually.
Oh, that's right. That's the modification.
Yeah, they're not.
That's
actually,
right.
they're both not in one.
Okay, gotcha. And then Pierpoint and Emick, did the respondent come to that?
Yes, the respondent is here.
And then Solar and Hauser, do we have the respondent here on that too?
Both are here.
Good. All right, and so any other one-party cases? Johnson, we have Alicia Henson and Michael Johnson, right?
That is what.
Okay. All right, did Michael Johnson ever respond? All right, Alicia Henson?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've got your petition here, and I understand that Michael Johnson has not responded. This is 24-61. And this petition has been served on Mr. Johnson.
Correct.
So, all right, Ms. Henson, I'm going to issue the order. Bear with me a moment because I need to make sure that the order that's issued here today is the same as the order that was issued originally.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alicia, Aaron does look a little bit Karen-y, I'll say that. But
from my understanding.
What? What are you talking about, Alicia? Is she an Alicia or Alicia? Or Alicia? Or Alicia? I saw this video of this teacher, and she was like a substitute teacher, and what she did was every time she went to a classroom, she did attendance and she got everybody's name wrong on purpose, like ridiculously wrong. She'd be like, okay, we have a Josephus or something, and then or Airine, which is, you know, it's hard to get some people's name wrong. Let's just put it that way. But she would do it. Aaron. But she did it on purpose to sort of break the ice with the kids, like, especially, but not picking on kids that normally have their name fucked up. I thought it was an interesting way to do it. She did a few of them that were really good. I can't remember what they were. I was trying to do it based off who was on the screen here, but that's my sister's name, Erin. So, but she's my much younger sister, so I never made fun of her. I think judges could maybe break the ice a little bit by doing the same thing. Judge, what are you doing, by the way? I've just
All
been
right, Ms. Henson, I've issued the anti-harassment order on the same terms and conditions as the temporary order that was issued previously. That order is in effect for the next year from today.
Okay, and when it comes to expire, if I feel that my daughter and I still need that, do I just follow the same, come to the court? Okay.
Yep. If it's best, and it'll be smoother if that time comes that you file a request to renew it, be 30 days or more before it expires.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah. Any other questions?
I just hope that he gets the help that he needs. My family's been through a lot.
All right. Understood.
Thank you.
All right.
inappropriate laughing.
Have a great day.
You as well. All right. So that's the last one party order. Okay. Then I'm going to call two modification cases, starting with the 1997 case, 97-11.
The what? Sorry, did you hear that? What year was that? 1997, and it gets weirder. I'm not even shitting you. It's gonna get weirder.
All right, so that's a little bit different. But I've got the petition for the modification or recall of the previously issued anti-harassment order. All right, and you're Mr. Leahy?
Lieutenant.
Leahy, okay. All right, and I understand that from your petition that the petitioner that had originally filed this action is deceased, and that the other respondent is also deceased.
That was correct. And originally it happened because my stepbrother used my name. And if you look at the original petition, it has my name at the top and his name on the bottom. So I'd actually never even met the petitioner, nor have I ever seen her before in my life. So it wasn't until recently I found out that this is why I keep getting stopped every time I go through customs. So anyways, with both people no longer here, I would assume that it would be something that we could get removed altogether.
All right. Now, I don't have, I mean, I have your declaration, but other than that, I don't have any basis to enter findings that either of those parties is deceased. Typically, what would happen is someone would submit. So a declaration like county official who records deaths, that sort of thing.
All right. Minnesota doesn't allow to get a death certificate unless you're family. Again, I don't know any of the parties there. The other thing is I mean, I always understood that with a restraining order, there had to be some sort of service. I was never notified. I was never served. I didn't even know it existed until 2012.
In 1997, you were not served? This is a toughie, right? And B, the only thing here that I think he has going for him really well is that not only is the original person who he claims impersonated him the person being protected by the protection order is deceased as well. It seems to me that should already have eliminated the protection order, but this is unusual. You know, but I thought this would be very, very, very interesting to talk about. Hi, Cellulite Yoga Pros. You know, and the judge doesn't believe. It's not that he doesn't believe him, but the judge has to. Well, that's what he's saying. The judge is saying like, oh, well, get death certificates, and he's saying I don't know their family. But the judge, like I said, I think the judge does. But that's hearsay, but there's nobody to oppose the hearsay admission. So, but this was, well, yeah, I know. Let's just hit play. Shut up, Paisley. Wait.
And when I called the sheriff to find out what happened, that's when I found out my stepbrother had used my identity when he was arrested. I didn't even know there was a restraining order even at that time. So it's the fact that it's, first of all, it's a lifetime in that, but there is no way for me to get a death certificate without contacting her family. And I can get one for my brother. He died in Idaho in 2021. She died in 2018. Regardless, I mean, to me, it seems that a lifetime for someone who's not even knowing of either person, well, the original petitioner, nor was I ever served. It seems a little silly to leave this in place. Again, since there is no one to be protected from.
I understand that. It makes sense. And from your point of view, that all hangs together. But I want you to bear with me here a second. Okay. All of this happened quite a long time ago. And there isn't any other, records or evidence to substantiate any of those things, which, I understand. So, like I said, normally in order to reverse an order, the court has to make certain findings, and there has to be evidence in order to make those findings. I'm not saying that evidence doesn't exist or can't be, found and put into the record, but right now, as we stand, it is not. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to take this, substantiate those claims. So there's kind of two basic ones. I mean, the death of the parties, that's certainly a significant one. And I'm going to keep this open for you to submit evidence of that they have died. Issue. I mean, I know you're saying you never knew about it, you never heard about it, and I'm not telling you that you're wrong, but I'm telling you again that the record or evidence that substantiates that is not present. All I have is, records that were made 25 years ago. in order
But
to.
my name and birth date are not on any of those records you have from 25 years ago.
Yeah, and that then we can go back and we can make the required findings. We'd have the evidence to make the required findings to reverse this order that was put in place. You know, that's what I can offer for you is you've raised an issue that obviously needs to be addressed. Has to be the only the way I do that is just, you know, extend this hearing out to another date. You present that evidence and then we'll evaluate it. And if that's sufficient to overturn the prior findings or make the appropriate finding that circumstances have changed, then the order can be removed. So in order to do that, though, how much time do you think you need in order to be able to present some of that evidence?
I probably have to get a lawyer to get the death certificate since they won't give it to me since I'm not a family member in Minnesota. So it shouldn't take too long, but again, it's just a cost. This thing is just costing me money every time I turn around, and it's been a pain, if you can imagine, for 25 years. So,
okay. So would you like, say, 30 days to
that's
do
fine.
this? Okay.
Yeah, 30 days fine.
Okay, let's have a date for him to have. Okay, April 15th.
Okay, tax day is fine.
That's a good way to remember it. Okay. And then you can supplement that record with any filings that you need to, you know, if it's death certificates, declarations, obituaries. I mean, I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just telling you generally, these are the kind of things I would normally see in a motion like this.
Okay, I'll get that.
Okay, we'll see you in about 4 weeks then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The other modification that I'm going to call is Blacksmith versus Vernum.
Okay, guys,
And
we've seen these
let's
people
see, I know
before.
that the parties are both here. I just don't know who's who. So it looks like Mr. Blacksmith is there online. Good morning, sir. And you're Mr. Vernum? Yes, sir. Go ahead and have a seat. And this is number 23-311 on a motion to modify the order.
I'm positive that we have seen the blacksmith guy before. Absolutely positive about it. 1,000% positive. And then it was versus. Yes. Okay. So IBS man is here. I can't go top right, Mike, because IBS man is here. I want to, but IBS man is here. Presto's here too. Ta-da! This is not a long case though. This is in a bit of a weird one. Let's watch.
Explain how I'm getting to where I'm getting here. Looks like there's some additional stuff that's been filed. All right. Okay, normally the way this works is this is a case where a anti-harassment application, file the appropriate motion.
Frustrated about the internet, but we'll get through it together. You guys are cracking me up. Fucking stupid internet. Please just work, please.
And declarations, which was done here. And then there's a review by the judge for sufficient cause showing prior to a case being set on the calendar for a hearing. that middle part got skipped here. So this got set directly for a hearing, which I think kind of creates the impression in the order. Now, I've reviewed the petition and the allegations that are made in it. And based on that, there is not a basis to modify the order. There are a couple of major reasons for this, but the primary one is that the
Mike, I am not even streaming this video. It is downloaded and being played. I have nothing running on the internet, on the computer at all, except for this stream on StreamYard. I have to say, I think StreamYard has a bit of a problem with, well, whatever. Let's continue. But I can't reduce quality or anything like that because that's the best. It's already downloaded. Like there's nothing straight to buffer. Like it's already fully downloaded. Know what I'm saying? Donna, what are you doing? Oh my God, where's my thank you button? You rock my world. Please tell me somebody got them. Also, guys, today, oh yeah, I'm poor. I do have it buffering. No, but seriously, because thank you, Miss Orlando Chiquita. But my upload speed is upwards of 90, Jonathan. We talked about this. But thank you so much, Donna. Also, I saw earlier today somebody gifted memberships and they themselves got a gifted membership. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. I've never seen it before. It happened. Like we pay extra money for better upload speed. I understand the upload is better than download and more important. I totally get it. I get it. Anyways, let's continue. I'll do a fucking speed test right now. Probably crash the whole fucking stream. Let's do a little speed test. We'll see what happens. I'm going to play it while we do
request
it.
would be to severely and substantially limit the respondent's free speech rights. And the court can't do that in a modification order or in an anti-harassment order. So, Mr. Blacksmith, the truth is this case probably wouldn't have been calendared for a hearing if your submission had been reviewed by a judge for sufficiency. Rather than to understand, though, that I guess both of you to understand that the provisions of the order that Judge Meyer issued are still in effect, and they prohibit contact and communication, among other things, as it's written in the order. If you believe there's been a violation of any of those provisions, the thing you should do is report that to law enforcement, because they would be responsible for enforcing that. If you're concerned about the things that Mr. Vernum is saying about you or representations he's making to others about you, an anti-harassment order is not the vehicle for addressing that issue.
Your Honor, I did actually contact law enforcement and that he's continuing to do towards me, which he's admitted to witnesses. I have witnesses with me that state that, yes, those signs are directed towards me, and he wants everybody to know, exactly the kind of person that I am. I've not actually been by Mr. Vernum's house at all. I've not harassed him in any way. I've not really even communicated to my neighbors what's going on because, well, I'd like this whole thing to end, but Mr. Vernum seems to be continuing to focus on the situation. And so I'm just here trying to figure out what my options are as well, whether I need to take this civilly to get a lawyer.
Mr. Blacksmith, if you want to know what your options are, I would suggest you consult counsel about that. But what you filed here is a motion to modify the existing order, and the request is to modify it in such a way that it wouldn't be a lawful order. Then, so for that reason, the court should not have even placed the allegations on for a hearing. It sounds like law enforcement keyed into the same issues that I did on reviewing this, which, you know, I think is appropriate, but the answer to your issue may be something else. I think if you were to consult with counsel, you may come up with some other options if, you know, that are more appropriate, but we can't convene a hearing to discuss options for how you can approach this. That isn't what a court hearing is for.
Understood, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to sort of
May I
rewind
speak?
this to the stage of not finding sufficient or proper grounds. A sufficient showing has not been made in order to place this on a calendar for modification. So that will just terminate the need for a hearing altogether. All right. And Mr. Vernum, we're not here to air grievances or.
No, I'm
discuss
not here to
the
air
order.
grievances. I'm here to invoke my First Amendment, which Judge Buckley agreed with 18 years ago and 2 weeks ago, when my neighbors lied about me, 2 of them, and killed my daughter's dog 5 years after my daughter was murdered.
We're not here. For
I
that,
realize
Mr.
that, but I have a First Amendment. I haven't used this man's name. I live a quarter mile away from
Mr.
him.
Vernum, we don't need to do this.
Well,
Like I said, we're not.
he's been harassing me. He calls the cops on me.
Mr. Vernum, we're not here for that either.
Well, that's fine. I'm done then.
Yes.
On November 6th, I can come and get my daughter's guns that they took.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know the answer
You see,
to that question.
Your Honor, I have a broken hand. I can't shoot a gun.
Mr. Vernum,
And this man's a liar.
I'm gonna move on to some
Okay,
other
I'm
business
done.
before the court.
I'm done.
All right, Mr. Blacksmith,
keep making my
that'll conclude
signs,
it
right,
for
Your
today.
Honor?
Like I said, Mr. Vernum, this isn't a
My
question
signs
and
are being
answer
made
period.
still.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Did you have any further instructions? I could
No,
not hear you.
there's nothing else.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, and I've got a couple of other two-party cases that we're going to need to address, and I will address these in this order. The cases in which a temporary order was issued will be heard first. Cases in which no temporary order was issued will be heard after those cases. So the first matter that I will take up will be KC Ballou versus Randy Taylor, number 24-60. All right, and are you Randy? You're Taylor?
When the
Okay.
other judge was taking attendance, I mentioned I wanted a continuance. I wasn't served.
Go ahead and have a seat.
till Wednesday.
I'll get to that, I promise you. Okay. And KC Ballou, you're here too?
Sorry, Zoom's going to.
All right, yeah, you broke up there a little bit, Mr. Ballou. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why. I can hear you. Yes.
All right, so it looks like Mr. Taylor was served, and that proof of service was filed with the court today. And I'm going to take a look at the proof of service because that declaration will tell me when it was served. And it says here that it was served on March 6th, which would have been Wednesday, right? Okay, so yeah, Wednesday, yeah.
At 10:30 p.m.
Gotcha. Okay, and Mr. Taylor, you have raised the issue that you may need more time to respond to this.
And I thought it was kind of strange because they only served me the order,
Mhm.
not the
You
petition,
didn't get the
and
petition.
none of the evidence.
Okay.
When I came to the courthouse and got the petition, they said they're not giving me the evidence, that I had to do it all myself online. And it says right on the orders that the law enforcement should give me all of those things. And the courthouse wouldn't even give me the evidence.
Okay, this doesn't even say what was served on you. It says the temporary protection order and notice of hearing was served on you, but not the petition.
Or the evidence.
All right, yeah, the evidence is in the court file. That doesn't typically get served. But the petition and the petition gives you the notice, of course, tells you about the hearing. The petition tells you what the allegations brought against you were, right? What the other party said about you.
OMG, Chris, you and Donna tonight, what are y'all doing? Love it. Love you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh, Chris. Santa Chris. Better than Satan Chris, right? K Crimson. Thank you so much, Chris. I hope I don't like in StreamYard. I don't see who gets them. I used to really appreciate seeing that. So I'm hoping that people are getting them. I hope so. I swear to God, you guys. Oh, Jody, you making dinner? What are you making, by the way? Just tell us that. I know also, yes, there's a nose issue here. Donna and Chris tonight. Donna with 5, Chris with 10. You woke up late, but you barely got any sleep. This is what a freaking day for this judge already. He can barely get a word in edgewise.
So you're on notice about that. And then evidence is placed by the parties in the court file, and it's made available for each party to see and inspect and so forth and prepare for the hearing. So it's not something the law enforcement gives to you.
And how come on the form it says that?
Don't know.
It's like something page 8 or something, 11 or something like that. It says all those things are supposed to be served.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything that was filed as part of the petition would be served, but there's other things besides what's filed with the petition that may have been filed. Does you feel like you didn't get enough time to prepare for this?
Thursday and Friday and the weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so do you need more time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how much more time do you need?
I do.
To be on, he was served a notice for the order,
Mr. Blue,
back in beginning of.
I haven't finished here, Mr. Taylor, yet. I'll give you your turn to respond to that in just a second, okay? All right, so I'm sorry. I was going to ask you, how much time do you think you need to be ready to respond to that?
1 more week.
Just 1 more week. Okay. So
And I did have something taped on my gate the prior week. And I came here and tried to get some stuff. And they said I wasn't served until the sheriff served me.
okay. All right, well, let's see what we can do. All right. So Mr. Ballou, Mr. Taylor is asking the court to extend your hearing for an additional week so he can be ready to respond to the petition. So what do you think about that? And your microphone's currently muted.
Question when you're done.
I believe it's that he knew what was that he was being served, as evidence shows that he had knowledge weeks prior to being officially served. He just avoided any contact with law enforcement, but I will go with whatever you decide to do today.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, a week's not a lot to ask. And I think it seems fair to me if you were served on Wednesday. I mean, technically, maybe we could say, well, there was 5 days and that's enough, but that's kind of marginal. And if you also haven't had a chance to inspect any of the material in the court file, then probably be better if you got to see that first before you had to respond to it. So I think we can probably do that. The calendar on the 18th wasn't too full, was it? I didn't think it was. Okay, well then we can do that. We can go out 1 week. And so what I'll do is extend the order that was previously issued, and next week until we hear from both of you and make a decision, okay?
Question.
Thank you, Chris Engleby. You are awesome. You are awesome. You're amazing. Sorry, I'll stop singing. That's like a punishment. Why would you do that, Paisley? Somebody donates and you sing? That seems actually backwards. Also, cellulite yoga pants. My daughter was at the dollar store with me yesterday, and we got some blue eyeshadow for some reason. Anyways, thank you so much. So much, Chris. You are really sweet. You really are. This judge is just, I feel for him today. I feel for him.
Yeah.
A little. I have to be careful because it only costs $1.50, so I worry about putting it near my eyes, but well, done worse things. I don't like him because he takes so long. What do I usually call him? Judge buffering?
Ready for that question?
That is what I call him.
Just a second.
Oh yeah, because he buffers.
Almost.
It's like,
Ladoy.
Okay, go ahead now.
so having a week more,
Mhm.
when do I have to file anything I want to file by? What's my cutoff date? Because I only get that many days really to do.
Thursday would be
Thursday?
the normal
Okay.
cutoff there, the filing deadline.
That's really how much time I really get is from now till Thursday.
Well,
To
to
file.
submit your own stuff.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be much. I mean, you can file it, file it by Thursday. That gives him a chance to see it too. But keep in mind though that this isn't like if you've ever done any civil litigation before, this isn't like a discovery
I just
procedure.
had some superior stuff, family type stuff a little bit.
I don't think I can get a word in edgewise here. All right, never mind. Your order is extended for a week. Your notice for that next hearing is right here. I hope you have enough time to review everything and be ready next Monday, and we'll finish this up.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Oh, I don't know if I can leave
all right,
that
thank you,
on.
Mr. Baloo.
Yep. So okay. It's 1 week from today. Sorry, my connection went out.
That's next Monday at 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
All good. Yep, all good.
I feel like it's too blue.
And then
That's my
I don't
heart.
think Judge Meyer will be able to hear any of these necessarily. I don't think he's gonna, he won't have reviewed them ahead of time, so I'll just do it real quick. Okay, and then Aaron Pierpoint, you're here, and Martin Emick, you're here as well. Okay, and that is number 24-67. All right, and I'm showing, Mr. Emick, can you confirm for me that you're ready to go with your hearing today?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I reviewed the record and saw that you had been served with notice. All right, and then Ms. Pierpoint, are you ready to go as well?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, what I'll do is I'll swear you both in, and then I'll hear from Ms. Pierpoint first, and then I'll hear from Mr. Emick after that. Keep in mind that I've already read your petition and everything that's in the record. It's not necessary for you to repeat any of that. You're not required to repeat everything that you've already done in writing, is what I'm telling you. And
But you can.
any of those things that have previously been filed are part of the record in the case and can be used as part of the decision as to whether or not to issue the order. And so feel free to refer me to any of those documents or other exhibits if you want to. And then please, you saw what happened at the last discussion. It only works if one person at a time talks, and interrupting each other is obviously not effective, and it's, you know, I just don't think it works. So keep that in mind, and keep in mind that you get to address the court fully on your issue, and then you get a chance to respond fully. So even if the other party says things that you don't agree are true, it's not necessary to interrupt them. Just keep in mind you get to tell your side of it. They get to tell their side of it. That's how it works. All right. So can I have each of you raise your right hand? And do each of you swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. All right. Ms. Pierpoint, go ahead.
Hi, Your Honor. Thank you for your time today. I am here to request the approval of my petition for a protection order against Mr. Emick. I am moving forward with this anti-harassment order at the suggestion of law enforcement after an incident on February 24th that resulted in Mr. Emick physically assaulting my husband and I on our property. This event can be found in more detail on pages 10 and 11 of the petition. Unfortunately, law enforcement was unable to charge Mr. Emick because we did not have obvious physical injuries, and Mr. Emick would not answer his door when they arrived to question him. Mr. Emick has exhibited a pattern of behavior that is seriously alarming and concerning. He's been made aware of this behavior, and not only has it continued, but it is now escalated to physical assault. It's clear that Mr. Emick is retaliating in response to violations that he has been found guilty of on his property. He appears to be encouraging and recruiting family and friends to join him in this behavior as well. Mr. Emick's behaviors and actions are well known in the neighborhood. He has had altercations with several other neighbors. This has become serious enough that 6 families have come together to meet and discuss their concerns about Mr. Emick after an incident in which a camper was set on fire with propane tanks inside that caused several large explosions and resulted in a brush fire that quickly spread on Mr. Emick's property. Thankfully, this fire was extinguished by the fire department, but that was only after neighbors called emergency services. After our daughter's bedroom window was broken, the responding officers recommended we install lights and cameras for security. We inquired with them about the placement of the lights and the cameras, and they gave us their suggestions. We followed their suggestions, and on February 24th, when officers arrived at our home, we again confirmed that our cameras and lights were following Washington state laws. Sheriff's Deputy Zamora stated we were well within our legal right to protect ourselves and our property. Throughout this ordeal, I have never contacted Mr. Emick via phone, email, text, or in person. I have never confronted him, and I have never returned his offensive gestures. In fact, I have not spoken to Mr. Emick since August of 2020. So I'm seeking this order of protection to ensure the safety of my children and myself, and to create a clear boundary for Mr. Emick, as well as the ability to pursue legal action in the future should his behavior not stop. It's my hope that this order of protection will diffuse the situation and prevent future incidents with Mr. Emick and third parties on his property. So thank you again for your time and assistance in this matter today, Your Honor. It is greatly appreciated.
All right, Mr. Emick, you want to go ahead with your response?
Okay, I just want to point this out. I always find it very interesting how people respond. What he picks first will be interesting. Although I will say she was obviously well prepared for this. And so if he is also well prepared, it will be a written statement, and it'll still be interesting what he leads with, but it will be less responsive to hers. Sometimes what happens is people get fixated on something, and so even though it happens at the beginning of the testimony, they can't stop thinking about it. And so when they finally get to speak, that's the first thing they lead with, even though it was like 15 minutes prior. And then they have a hard time really going on, with what they need to say. Let's see what he says. Also, where the fuck is he sitting? Those shelves look dangerous. Where's the camera? Again, angles, people. Angles.
The night she is talking about, I believe it's the February 24th. Yeah, we went over to the fence. They were blasting very loud music. So we walked over there to see what was going on because we couldn't even see them. And they started actually hitting us with sticks over the fence. So I'm not sure what she's talking about of us assaulting them. I reached over to try to grab the stick out of his hand while he was hitting me and my friends, which were on my property. So that's that incident. I don't know what else I need to defend. The fire she's talking, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to explain everything that she's lying about. The fire she's talking about is something my girlfriend had to do with. She's on the fire department record. She got the ticket for it. I had nothing to do with it. They've been after me. They have lights blaring 300 feet over my whole property. Did you get documentation that I filed? I filed like 30.
I have, yeah, I do. I have
pieces of evidence. Once this goes through, I'm actually going to file a harassment order on her because I'm not really sure what they think I'm harassing them with. I didn't break their window. We were actually in OMAC that weekend. I have proof of that. Hotel records. We weren't even home. I showed all the text messages that her husband has sent to me, how violent they are. If they had another text message from me, I guarantee you they would have presented it. I don't text them back. I don't harass them. I can't see their property. I built a secondary fence just so I don't have to see them. They shot my truck window out with a BB gun. I called the sheriff. I have documentation of that. He said I can't do anything unless it's on camera. But my truck happened to be right next to the property line, facing right where, it's pretty obvious. They've called the county on me. They've called ORC on me, even if my neighbors are burning. I don't really know how to, I don't know if anything
He's ringing true to me. He's creepy, but this is ringing true to me. What he's saying, the way he's saying it. Like I said, the way he's addressing these situations, he's I don't know, you listen to these long enough and you can hear when somebody's weaving a story or they've written a story. And here's the thing. Generally, they first of all don't allow you to read statements in court. But secondly, they also in TPO court, they're a little bit more lenient, but that's an interesting point to think of. There is not a lot of I barely remember what she said, basically, but what he's saying sounds pretty true. It sounds weird. Like my friends, the sticks over the fence and shit, that's all weird. But he come to the realization he's not going to make it as a rock star. Oh, geez.
I'm saying is pertinent to this case. It's pertinent to them harassing me, but in no way do I harass them. I'd like to know how I'm harassing them.
Is there anything else, Mr. Emick?
That's it.
Okay. All right,
like you said, I have not seen her in 4 years. I don't see their kids.
I'm sorry that there's a difficult relationship between neighbors here. That's always a tough spot
And
to
one
be
of the
in.
items on 1/13/2024, I'm up in a tree, about 15 feet up in a tree, 130 feet away from my fence, putting up an antenna so we can watch football. He comes out on these stairs and he just starts filming me. That's what they do. They have these stairs that overlook my property and they constantly film me. And yes, we do flip off their cameras because their cameras are invading our privacy and they look about 200 to 300 feet over our property. And I'm looking into hiring a lawyer to deal with all this once we go through with whatever happens here.
Okay, can I have all right. Thank you. All right. Well, I do find Ms. Pierpoint's allegations of harassment to be credible, and they're consistent with what was placed in her petition originally in this case. Ordinarily, conflict between neighbors is not the kind of thing that's going to result in issuing an anti-harassment order. People are not required to get along. People are not required to be nice. People are also allowed to express their displeasure with each other and even do that in ways that can be offensive or really unpleasant. But lines can be crossed, and lines can be crossed when threats are made. Lines can be crossed when physical violence occurs or property damage occurs or attempts to do those things. And it appears to me that what Ms. Pierpoint is saying is credible with regard to physical assaults and the allegations that she's made in her petition and repeated here today are credible. And I think those form the basis to find that there's been a pattern of behavior directed at her and that behavior is serving no lawful purpose and is also harmful to her physical or mental well-being. And any reasonable person would suffer the same kind of harm. So I'm going to issue the order, which really means what I'm doing is extending the order that was issued on a temporary basis for a year.
Can you
on
explain
the same terms and conditions?
Can you explain to me
Right.
what
I've done that. I've made my ruling and I've explained it, and that is the ruling of the court.
what am I restricted from doing?
So I'll explain that part of this in just a moment.
Am I able to file a harassment order against her still?
Buffering, Judge buffering. That is what he does. No, his name's not Judge Ritchie. I think it is Buckley. I think we found out his first name's Michael, but he doesn't go by it. It's Brett. No, it's Brett Buckley. Isn't it? No, that's not. Are they different? Yeah, they're different. Are they? Oh my God. All the judges are running together now.
All right, this order just prohibits the same things that temporary order did, which is to say no harm, no contact, and no approaching the protected person's residence or the person themselves. However, this restriction does not exclude the respondent from his own property or residence. And this order will be in effect for 25. All right, this order will be filed by the court clerk today, and it'll be available to both of you shortly.
Can I?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or
No,
okay.
no, there's no such restriction.
Am I able?
Can you restrict the people from using my internet, Judge? Please.
To still file a harassment order on them to get them to remove their lights and cameras?
You have not been restricted from doing anything like that.
Okay, I just didn't know because of now she has this harassment order on me. If I can file one on her, thank you.
All right, that'll conclude your hearing for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, and now I'll move to the cases where both parties are present, but no temporary order was issued, and that will be Solar versus Hauser. Carol Solar, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, would you have a seat over here? And you must be Ms. Hauser? You have a seat right here. This is case 24-66. And a second here, I gotta bring my electronic file up. Okay, there we go. All right, and Ms. Hauser, did you get enough time to be ready to go with the hearing today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, so it's like we have all the exhibits, the petition. Did you need something?
No, I just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
I was here.
All right, no, we know you're here. We can see you. All right, get there. Now I'm to the place I need to be. So again, what I'll do is start by swearing you both in. Ms. Solar, you'll be able to tell your side first, and then Ms. Hauser, you get to respond. And again, keep in mind that everything that you filed, written up to now is already part of the court record, and I've reviewed it, so it's not necessary to repeat everything in order to have me consider it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far back I should go.
All right, well, let me get you sworn in then and I'll let you start.
Okay.
So do both of you swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so Ms. Solar, go right ahead.
Okay, we met at the Tenino Food Bank.
Okay, off to a banging start. Met at the food bank. Why would the witness not be frickin' removed? Also, hi, autistic shill. How you doing? Seriously, why would he not remove the witness? This doesn't make any sense. La judge.
Sharon said she was autistic, and I told her that my daughter, who is here, is also autistic. And she said she could help my daughter, and she asked me also to help her at the food bank, which I did. Anyway, then there was a Christmas party that she asked me to co-host. She did not just invite me, she asked me to co-host it because she was a little afraid to do it on her own. So I agreed, and my daughter and I came to her house and we talked about it. And you know, things that she would want to give the guests and such. And so the day came and I brought food, mac and cheese, and everything seemed to be fine. Well, anyway, prior to that, she was concerned about where the guests were going to sit. And I told her that I had a folding table that she could use. This is, to be honest with you, it's a ridiculous situation. Anyway, so while I was there, I overheard, I think she's another coworker that she used to work with, talk about her putting holes in her walls at home. And Sharon responds to, I was just mad. And I didn't say anything. I just overheard this. Anyway, the first day I met Sharon, I gave her a crystal as kind of a token.
Oh my God. First of all, thank you, Autistic Shield. Thank you so much. Hold on. You rock my world. Thank you so much. I hope those memberships get given out. Thank you for gifting after you got gifted. That's so awesome. I love that. Paying it forward. That is awesome. Alana's here talking about boobs. Thank you again, Autistic Show. Seriously though, what is the judge looks like he has been like reconsidering his life choices the entire docket today. He's just seriously been just so depressed about it. Let's continue. Let's get this finished. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you who has, oh yeah, and she just gave her a crystal, right? Fucking West Coast. This is my life, you guys. Although once in a while I do like a crystal because I like to hold on to nice, pretty things. But I don't think the judge cares about the crystals that much. I'm gonna say that. If she tells us what kind of crystal it is, I will piss my pants laughing. Yeah, I lost him at the food bank. He's like, I donate. I hope he does.
For our new friendship. And then at the party, I gave her cognac. Anyway, the first day I met Sharon, I gave her a crystal as kind of a token for our new friendship. And then at the party, I gave her cognac glasses, crystal shells, and driftwood. So anyway, she put scratch tickets in her little boxes for her guests. And after all the guests had left, my daughter and I were still there. And Sharon, who I watched the video because I apologize. I didn't show up at court last time because I got the time wrong. And my daughter had been here at 1:30 instead of 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was told I could view it on video. Sharon offered her tickets to my daughter and said, thank you for helping with the party. My daughter never asked her for those tickets. And I told her she could borrow my table until she got another one.
What? This is the most random story I've ever heard.
Sharon exhibits fearfulness of objects. I witnessed this at the party. And the last time I was at her house, she said her ex-husband brought something over and she couldn't handle it. She put it in another room because she's terrified of the essence or whatever. And I also witnessed her hitting her dog, and her dog's ears were down, and the dog kept on wanting to play with me. And she said, hit the dog in the nose. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. The same day she offered me Xanax, which I didn't want.
What?
And then later on, she said she wanted to quit smoking pot, and I was also a pot smoker. And she told me that if she quit smoking marijuana, she wouldn't be able to talk to anybody for 2 weeks. So I didn't call her for 2 weeks. But prior to that, I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Before I left her house, which was the last time I saw her prior to her coming to my house, I saw a hole in her door, and I said, how did this happen? She says, I got mad. And I said, you shouldn't really be destroying your own house. And I said it nicely, but I think she got irritated and basically told me to leave. And the reason I was there in the first place was because she said she was sick. And I offered to bring her food from the Tenino Food Bank.
What? We're full circle back to the food bank? Did they have a full
She hasn't.
Hold on. Was that like a full-size wheel from a ship in this house down here? We're going back, you guys, and we are going to watch this person. Yeah, it was. Watch this.
From the Tenino Food Bank.
Look at that. That is that's a wheel. Wow. I would like one of those. I want one of those, and I want pull-down maps. This is nuts. What is going on right now? It's not illegal to smoke pot in Washington, right? This is so just so freaking confusing.
She hasn't come here to my house since or called me. But I also believe that's true because there was a temporary order of protection and then she got served again. I do worry about my safety because I have balancing issues, and she is clearly an angry person. But when you first meet Sharon, she seems like a very nice person. And she told me she could help my daughter with autism. That's how we started our relationship. And while she was in court last time, she told the judge that she was fearful of my daughter And my daughter is a sweet young lady, never hurt anybody. She's
Points to empty chair beside her. I
a high functioning autistic person. And over a silly table, she wouldn't go after this woman. And as far as phone calls are concerned, I waited 14 days before I called her after leaving her house the last time. I respected her because she wanted to quit smoking marijuana, so I gave her the 2 weeks and an extra, well, the 2 weeks. And I called the first phone call. I said, "Hi, Sharon, give me a call." I waited a while and then I called again because I figured it's time to get my table back. And I called her again and I said, "Sharon, give me a call." And then I noticed that the answering machine had changed. So at that point, I knew she was ignoring my calls. So then I called her again and I said, "Sharon, I can't really afford to give you the table. Nobody dislikes you. If you don't want to see us, just leave it outside and we'll pick it up. We won't even knock on your door." And anyway, pretty soon I got a knock on my door, bashing, and she was screaming at me at the top of her lungs, where most of my neighbors, I think, were gone. But anyway, she was screaming and yelling at me and telling me not to call her again. And if she saw me, she was going to beat me up and she was going to call the police. And I couldn't get a word in edgewise because she wouldn't stop screaming and yelling. And by the time she left, I was shaking. And I called the police and I told them what happened. And then I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, but I called the senior center, which is another thing. When I first met her, I donated to the auction of the senior center. So I've been nothing but nice to this woman. And I had asked the director there if I should have any reason to be fearful of Sharon. And the woman got annoyed with me and I said, "Well, thank you very much." And I hung up. And at that point, I just got the anti-harassment order. And as far as my son is concerned, he is in an Arizona prison, jail. Unfortunately, he's had drug issues for many years. He's not even getting out till July. And when he does get out, he will be extradited to Illinois. So her claims of my children harming her is ridiculous. And I have balancing issues. I know I'm twice the weight of her, but I do have balancing issues.
hold on. Somehow we're on to this now, but you're telling me that it's a full moon into my birthday on the 25th? There's the wheel again. Oh my God, you guys. Fuck.
I have numbness on my left foot. I have a hip replacement. And if I had to quickly get away from somebody or be even slightly pushed, even in my own home, I lose my balance. And I feel that I don't want to see her at the Tenino Food Bank. She lives in Yelm. And there's plenty of food banks there. And I just don't want her around me, to be honest with you. I think that's all I have to say.
Okay. So we're, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you about my evaluation of this. I really don't see any harassment here.
Okay.
I'm having a
Yeah, I
do
was
it better
quickly.
by talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, which is what you've done here. And, you know, all I think I can confidently say as a result of hearing all this and reading all this is maybe Ms. Hauser isn't really pleasant. She might be a little bit difficult. But there's nothing about this that gives me the impression that she is doing any kind of, I guess from a legal point of view, a pattern of conduct that's directed at you that would seriously injure or harass or harm you. It doesn't seem that way at all. What it seems like is that you have a disagreement with her over, her, the way she treats her dog, the way she treats her property, how willing she is to communicate with you when you feel you have something you need to discuss. And I get that can be irritating and difficult, especially since it sounds to me like you were trying to kind of reach out and be friendly and, maybe strike up a friendship, with her, but that didn't work out. And maybe she just doesn't reciprocate. I don't know. But I'm not going to require her to answer any of this because I still don't, even after you've presented it in writing, even after you've presented it, here orally, I just can't make the legal finding that what she did constitutes harassment.
May I say one more thing?
Sure.
I had a feeling that I would not get the order, and I'm okay with that. The main reason I came back here today was to defend my daughter. My daughter is a
Sure.
very sweet, loving young lady with autism.
Yeah, and that's, perfectly understandable. I mean, we all want to, defend our kids and, clearly she's his Jillian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read about her in here. She's, I think that's a natural thing for a parent to do.
Thank you.
Oh, that is. And I don't believe there was a temporary order issued here, so there's nothing that needs to be terminated. Yeah. So I guess maybe I'll leave you with this. Maybe, as unfortunate as it is, maybe there's just no kind of friendship or relationship to be had here. So, don't reach out to her. Just, focus another directly from each other.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I have signed the order. The court clerk will place it in the court file and you can each get a copy of it whenever you'd like.
Well,
Where do we get a copy?
She's gonna file it online, but I think
Oh.
she might be able to copy it right here for you since you're standing right here and
Oh,
you can
okay.
get a copy before you go.
Nice.
But it just says that there's not any kind of order issued in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'm gonna make my way over to courtroom 1, so that'll complete the order hearings for today.
will it, Judge? Will it indeed? It did. Well, if Colin's showing this for members only, then don't spoil it. Just go have fun. I hope everybody had a good time here tonight. I am going to make the smash burgers. I had a great time tonight. It was a really fun episode. Lots of weirdness. I have some good cases in the pipeline that I'm working on that I haven't showed you guys yet. So I think that, are you making a smash burger too, Courtney? That's awesome. The end of what hearing? What hearing, Alana? But I don't disagree. I always check things out. Oh, I can't really remember. Oh, I got some stuff. Oh, the one I just showed. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're public record. Y'all can do that. It's fun. Sometimes it's nice to know what you want to say ahead of time. Be prepared with some cool comment. I get that. I've done that before. Then sometimes it's just cool to watch along and listen. Chris, thank you so much. As always, thank you for your gifting today. Thank you, everybody, for gifting. Here, let me say a thank you again. We have Miss Donna, Chris, and Autistic Shill. Thank you, guys. Members only this coming week is going to be fun. I'm already thinking about it. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but oh, you checked out as in zoned out. Okay, well, I get that too. Sometimes that happens. That's why I like being able to rewind things, because you can just watch it again when that happens. Anyways, reminder that I love you. Oh, I'm going to do my here's what I'll do. If my smash burgers go epically, they will. I have so much cheese I'm going to put on them. And I'm going to smash them so good. So when those go smashingly, I may set up and do just a boobs and diamond painting stream tonight. So just keep an eye out. Might happen, might not. But it might. It's a possibility. Reminder, I love you. I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Check out my cool outro.
Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.